We are now just 139 days away from the official release of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio, as well as creator George Lucas. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, what's really exciting about Episode 9 is that we do know that this film is going to really be inserting a lot of prequel trilogy continuity as well as original trilogy continuity in order to really connect this film and to really fulfill the Skywalker saga in a very unique and original way by J.J. Abrams and George Lucas. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions and one of the set leaks that's actually planned for reshoots, this is where things begin to get very intriguing for Episode 9. Now, specifically, it's described that during the rewrites of November and December of 2018 is when George Lucas was significantly involved in adjusting the second and third acts of the film that would contain more connections to the prequels and the originals. It's said that during the rewrites for one of the plans for reshoots is actually said to get Hayden Christensen on set for one of the scenes that is said to be shot sometime in September, just before reshoots end. One of the scenes is designed to include a moment in which Hayden is planned to portray the hybrid Force ghost of Anakin Skywalker, fusing with the Darth Vader Sith Wraith that the Dark Acolytes summon through ancient Sith code. It's described to be a scene by J.J. Abrams that shows the birth of the first hybrid Force ghost in the Skywalker saga that will take fans by surprise, where it will also be used by state-of-the-art CGI techniques for the scene involving Hayden's face for the hybrid Force ghost of Anakin Skywalker fusing with Vader's Sith Wraith. It's said to be used as a way to foreshadow Palpatine's return later in the film and how it would be done by George and J.J. So let's go over a couple of parts about this, because we do know that this film is going to introduce tons of new Star Wars lore just like this, and a lot of people have been expressing mixed reactions on things ranging from the flash fights to the hybrid Force ghosts and to spirits being in this film. A lot of people aren't quite sure on whether or not that really fits Star Wars. Now, in my point of view, I think it does, because this is really embedded within the expanded universe, which I will agree, the EU at one point in time it really got crazy and a little out of hand. But at the same exact time, the EU has some of the best stuff in the Star Wars franchise. So in this particular scenario, one of the big plans by JJ is actually to get Hayden Christensen on board for reshoots during, of course, September of this year for one of the new opening sequences that's actually going to be used for one of the moments in which we first see the hybrid Force ghost and the birth of this character. Now, what's really intriguing about this is that this is JJ bringing his vision back to life. You know, for The Force Awakens, originally J.J. Abrams wanted to show us what if, Anakin Skywalker fused with a Darth Vader ghost, and how would that really be used in a Star Wars movie? Now, in this scenario, it's actually said to be used as a way of foreshadowing of how Palpatine's Sith Wraith will make its way into the film later. We're talking about into the third act. And this is also set to be used as a way to introduce the Dark Acolytes and exactly who they are and what they are capable of. Now, these guys are dark side-oriented individuals. They are able to summon these Sith Wraiths from the spiritual realm, which, by the way, does exist. It's basically the other version of the netherworld of the Force that contains a lot of evil and ancient Sith lords and stuff like that if they are to make it to the afterlife. So, what I find so very interesting about this is that they're really drawing from not just the original ideas of The Force Awakens and kind of modifying it, but they're also diving into the expanded universe, because we saw a lot of examples just like this, very similar, and they're just kind of shifting it around a little bit to make it somewhat different. Now, the one thing that I do want to go over is, of course, the Dark Acolytes. Now, the Dark Acolytes are said to summon the hybrid Force ghost of both Anakin Skywalker and the Sith Wraith of Darth Vader, where once they combine together into one, that's exactly how we get the true hybrid Force ghost that is actually said to be a combination between both Anakin and Vader. So that's a very interesting way of telling the fans how it's going to be born into the Star Wars franchise, how it's going to be utilized, and how they plan to have Hayden Christensen's face embedded in one of the sequences here that actually involves the Dark Acolytes and this large stone structure that is actually said to resemble, many different ancient areas in the real world. And that's what what I love about Episode 9. It's really drawing from a lot of regions here on Earth as well, and kind of making it into a Star Wars-y environment. So, J.J. Abrams does know what he's trying to do. He's really trying to be very ambitious. He's aiming high with this movie. He's really trying to mark it down as the best of the sequel trilogy to really match this movie up with, of course, what we got in the originals and the prequels, if not better, which I'm not quite sure if it'll be better than the originals, but I think that there's a great possibility that this is going to be the best of the sequel trilogy without a doubt. So, with that being said, Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker, by far, the true face of the Star Wars franchise. It seems like JJ wants to give us a different view of those characters and how they're going to be used in the film. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.